Hey guys, so what we're going to be doing right now is we're going to finish our reading, but before we get there, I want to talk about where we left off. So we left off reading where Brian is realizing that great he's found the plane, and great that he made a raft that he thinks can get him there, but now he's thinking about what else is inside that plane. And what else is inside that plane is the dead pilot. And he's trying to convince himself that it's okay to keep on with the original plan. But I want to ask you for just a minute, would you be able to keep on with the original plan? Would you be able to push yourself to go on out to that plane? I think I would find it very difficult. Even though I knew that the plane was in the lake all along, that I've known that the pilot's in the plane, but he's been so busy and preoccupied trying to survive, he's not really thought about it. But now he's having to think about it, or I would be thinking about it. And it would be very difficult for me to continue on in that manner. Not saying I wouldn't do it. I'm just saying I think it would be hard for me. So just something to think about. All right, let's pick our book up. We just have a few pages, and then we're going to move into questions. Chapter 18, and I believe that is page 161. Well, Brian worked around the tail of the plane 2 more times, pulling himself along on the stabilizer and the elevator. But there simply wasn't a way in. Stupid, he thought. I was stupid to think I could just come out here and get inside the plane. Nothing is that easy. Not out here. Not in this place. Nothing is easy. And he slammed his fist against the body of the plane, and to his complete surprise, the aluminum covering gave easily under his blow. Well, he hit it again. And once more it bent and gave, and he found that even when he didn't strike it, but just pushed it, it still moved. It was really, he thought, very thin aluminum skin over a kind of skeleton, and if it gave that easily, he might be able to force his way through. The hatchet. He might be able to cut or hack with the hatchet. And he reached into his belt and pulled the hatchet out, picked a place where the aluminum gave to his push, and took an experimental swing at it. Well, the hatchet cut through the aluminum as if it were soft cheese. Couldn't believe it. 3 more hacks and he had a triangle hole the size of his hand, and he could see 4 cables that he guessed were the control cables going back to the tail. And he hit the skin of the plane with a frenzied series of hacks to make a still larger opening, and he was bending a piece of aluminum away from 2 aluminum braces of some kind when he dropped the hatchet. It went straight down past his legs. He felt it bump his foot and then go down into the water. And for a second, he couldn't understand what he had done, that he had done it. For all this time, all the living and fighting, the hatchet had been everything. He had always worn it. Without the hatchet, he had nothing. No fire, no tools, no weapons. He was nothing. The hatchet had been him, and he had dropped it. Ugh! He yelled it, choked on it, a snarled cry of rage at his own carelessness. The hole in the plane was still too small to use for anything, and now he didn't have a tool. That was the kind of thing I would have done before, he said to the lake, to the sky, to the trees. When I come here, I would have done that. Not now. Not now. Yet he had. And he hung on the raft for a moment and felt sorry for himself, for his own stupidity. But as before, the self-pity didn't help. And he knew that he had only one course of action. He had to get the hatchet back, had to dive and get it back. So that's where the reading stops. And I'm trying really hard to keep the longest portion of these lessons at 30 to 45 minutes. So that's why I stopped yesterday. We were right at 30. So I want you to think about the reading, and I want you very quickly to make yourself some notes about where you would sticky note if we were sticky noting. So do that real quick, and you can write them on your team talk. Sorry, my hearing aid's bothering me. All right, so you know that you have to answer questions 1, 2, 3, and 4. Number 4, without a shadow of a doubt, will be your Google Classroom upload, along with one additional one. So not sure which one that will be at the moment, but we will talk about that tomorrow, okay? So do all 4 in your journals. Tomorrow we will do something a little bit different. We're not going to check our questions tomorrow. So I will tell you which questions to add to your journal, and then, or to your Google Classroom, excuse me. But I'm also going to be asking you to do something else tomorrow. So go ahead and get started on those. You're going to need the time to do it. So use this time wisely. Get those in your journals. Make sure you're giving me textual evidence to support it, so that when you upload to Google Classroom, you've got it all exactly the way you want it to look like. It's before you turn it into me. That's it, guys. I'll catch you in a moment. I'm going to do one more upload for tonight in these clothes, and then I'll see you in a day or two.